Okay, welcome to look number one with the Pat McGrath Petalmorphosis palette. So this is what the palette's looking like. We're gonna do 3 looks, 1 palette. This is today's first look. So I have been analyzing this palette real quick and I realized there's only 3 mattes in here. So I'm gonna do 3 distinct looks on my eyes. So today is the halo look. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna grab this shade right here, which is not fully matte. It has sparkle to it. I don't know if you guys can see that. See that sparkle? But we're gonna use it as an all over, just for a transition shade to start out. Okay, so we're gonna grab this shade right here and put it on the outer and innermost part of my eye. We're just gonna grab, it's completely matte, but we're going to put this in the inner corner and the outer. All right, so I'm feeling a little bit adventurous and I don't want to go with like something like this or like this or like this or either one of these two. So it's going to be one of these two right here. I just don't know which one I want. That'll look pretty. So will that one. I think I'm going to go with the light green one just because that just looks so ethereal in with this purple. And I'm just going to put it in the center. And oh my gosh, the small amount that I grabbed was enough to be so opaque. I'm gonna go back in with that purple shade, that matte purple shade that we went to at first, this one, and just blend it in with the green. That green did have fallout. Mind you, I always do my eyes first lately, and I would especially do my eyes first, but because I'm doing 3 looks, 1 palette, I had to do my face first. So for eyeliner, I'm gonna grab this green liner, this Epic Smoke Liner in Sage Sparks by NYX. I think this one will look really pretty with this and put it in my waterline, so then the green stands out as well. All right, I'm gonna do mascara and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is look number 1. For blush, I ended up using Lawless Angel, just in case you're wondering how I paired it together. So Lawless Angel, I put in there. And then for lips, I use my BFF lip liner in our ColourPop in BFF and Honey Love as my lipstick. So MAC Honey Love as my lipstick. So this is look number 1. Welcome to look number 2 for this Pat McGrath palette. You guys caught me on a day where I'm doing date night with Mr. Man. So I'm half dressed, not really. And I'm trying to do something sultry, but still daytime appropriate because it's an early dinner since we have children. So we're gonna play around with some shades here. All right, so first off, we're gonna start out with the same transition shade here. I'm gonna go as light as possible because I'm gonna do a smoky eye today, but I need it to be not so in my face. I want to see if I could test this palette out to do that where I can lightly do some looks. So we're going to see how light this palette can go. Okay, so now we're going to go in with this shade right here. I have yet to even play with it, but I'm going to go with a light application because this is going to be all over the lid. But I don't want it to be too much, so we'll see. As you guys can see, it's pretty patchy, and I went with a light hand, and I don't know. That shade isn't my favorite when it comes to all over the eyes. I think it would work better if it's like very like in your face. So we're gonna put a shade over it just to cover it up. So we're gonna go in with this shade right here and put it all over the lid. Now I'm gonna try to just do gentle dabs. Let's see. Did that work? You guys can kind of see still some of the green, and I'm hoping that when the whole look comes together, it's not so bad. All right, I'm gonna do the rest of my face and then I'll be back. So here is look number 2, you guys. I did add a little bit of this shade on the edge and then blended it out with this one right here. And for the inner corner, I added that shade. I just needed something on here. For blush, I ended up using Blush Please from MAC. You guys know I love these blushes, like my all-time favorite blushes. So I put this one on, which is kind of neutral with a little bit of pink. I didn't want something too much. And then for eyeliner, I did not want to go too smoky since this look is very smoky. So I ended up going in with Milk Chocolate from Mally, which is this shade right here. I just put it on my lower lash line to kind of like soften the look a little bit without it being so harsh with black. And then for the lips, I'm just wearing this Anastasia clear clear lip gloss in the color Crystal. Since it's a date night, I'm going to be eating, I'm going to be drinking. I don't like to put too much on my lips. I'll probably just put like a lip liner before I leave and then put this gloss over it. But this is look number 2. Not my favorite, but I'll give you my final thoughts at the end. Welcome to look number 3. I was kind of annoyed that my last look, the green stuck to my eyelids, and I think it was partially because of my eye primer. But I will say that that green doesn't really show up green unless you pack it down. So we're going to do that today because I am determined to make it work. So we're going to do a look where we're going to try to use the rest of the eyes. Look, I don't know. I have 4 of them. We're going to give it a shot. We're going to give it a shot. All right, so we're going to start out again with this shade right here because we have very little to work with when it comes to transition shades. So we're going to put this one on. We're going to go back here and put this on the outer V this time. See, that looks so much better. So I really do think it was my eye primer. But I did go back and fix that after I filmed that for you guys. So that's how I know. But it's still not as green as I would like it to. It's more like a black base green. All right, so we're going to grab this shade right here and put it close to that. Then we're going to go with this shade and then that shade. And just gradually put it over there. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this and just blend the edges. All right, I'm gonna do the rest of my face. So I ended up just grabbing this very last shade that I didn't use and put it on my lower lash line, which made it look really nice. I do like this colorful look. It's like a bright look. I like how the transitions, like the colors go with each other. So if you want to use them together, you can. For blush, I ended up using my L'Oreal Illumi blush in Dewy Worth It, which I thought would be perfect to match this look. Eyeliner, I used my Persona Chocolate on my inner rim because I figured it matches with the purple and smokes out the top. Then for lip, I ended up using these 2. This is my ColourPop BFF with Chanel Adrian, which is this shade right here, is what I'm wearing on my lips today. So this is the final look. All right, guys, at this point, I believe you've already seen all 3 of the looks that I did with this palette from Pat McGrath. This is the 3rd look that I did today. And I will tell you that I do like all 3 looks. They all brought something different. I did something completely different as far as makeup style and colorful combinations. I will tell you the first look looks so beautiful together. I just like that green with the purple. It just reminds me of like a secret garden. Today, I feel like I am more of like this night out kind of girl. And then the middle look was my least favorite, but I think partly was because my eye primer didn't set all the way, so it kind of like clinged. But I also have thoughts on that eyeshadow. So you guys have seen this over and over. I'm the last person, so I'm not even going to do a full review on this palette. I'm just going to give you my overall thoughts from using every single shade, wearing them, what I think about them. Overall, I love the color story. I wouldn't have liked this color story if I didn't like this one already, which is the What's Up Beauty Dragon's Eye. This one came out last year, and I love this color combination. And then this is the one that Pat McGrath came out with that's a little bit similar. Now, the thing about this one is you're not getting any of those special shades. And what I mean by those special shades is more of you're getting more of what you're seeing in this one, which makes sense. You're not seeing any duochromes, trichromes, any shifting shades. And as somebody who has constantly said, I don't need every palette to have that, because I don't use them all the time. They don't really translate the same on my eyes. Sometimes they look dirty on my eyes. Sometimes it just looks like I'm sick because of the way it shifts on my eyes. I actually appreciate the fact that she didn't put that in here. I appreciate that because all of these shades will translate what you see on here is what you're getting on your eyes, and it's very vibrant. You do not need a ton, like you need a little bit. Yes, you do get fallout with some of these if you really pack them on, but if you just do a slight brush of your finger on there, it'll translate so beautiful. I can't stop looking at this eye look. I think it's really, really pretty. Now, you're only getting 3 mattes in here, which can be good and bad. My thing is that you guys know I'm not a fan of these, especially this one. Like, I'm not a fan of mauve shades on me. Yeah, they look pretty on me and I can rock them, but it's just not my preference for an everyday look. I do like this shade right here. This shade has sparkle running through it, but it's nothing where you can't use it as a matte. I basically used it almost in every single look as my first transition shade, so it worked perfectly fine on there. This one does translate beautifully. It's like a pinky peach color, which would be really nice for a blush as well, now that I think about it. But it is a beautiful shade. I really do like that one. The other matte that I want to talk to you guys about is this one. So I love greens. You guys know I am obsessed with greens. When I saw this green, I was like, yes, there's a green in there. And the majority of the looks that I saw people do, they were using this as an eyeliner. So I wanted to step out of the box and use it all over my lid, but not super smoke. The one drawback that I found about this one, not necessarily the fact that when you saw that look, it stuck to my eye primer. You do have to have an eye primer that sets completely or it will stick to it, but that's not the point. It's not the point that it doesn't blend out, because I used it today as an outer V and it blended out really beautifully. So it's no fault of the shadow itself. It was more of a user error, which is fine with me. My thing is that in order to get this kind of vibrancy out of this shadow, you really have to pack it on with like a flat brush and then blend out the edges. You're not going to get the same color like this. To me, it looks like more of a blackened, like it looks like I put black on my outer V or on my lid and then with a hint of green. Not necessarily what you're seeing here. I wanted this vibrancy, this depth, not making it look like a blackened green. I wanted a green, a dark green, if that makes any sense to you guys. I don't know how to describe it, but I really wanted this to look like on my eyes. I didn't want it to be like a sheer black with a hint of green, and that's what it looked like when I tried to do a soft look, a soft smoky look with it. Unless you're putting it on as an eyeliner, you're not going to get the same vibrancy. And that's the only drawback of this whole entire palette for me, was the fact that this one, unless you really put it in a dense or a concentrated area, you're not going to get the same payoff color-wise that you're going to see in this pan. Every other shade in here was beautiful. I love this color right here. Actually, I'm not gonna lie to you, I loved every single color. This one was awesome. This is the only one that doesn't have like a lot of sparkle. It's more of like your satin shade, but it is a beautiful inner corner highlight. It's a little bit drier, but it is a beautiful inner corner highlight. So that's the only one that you're not gonna see with sparkle in it. All the rest have sparkle in it, and they're absolutely beautiful. This one, obviously, by far is one of my favorites. I love this one. I can see myself using this one a ton. This green one is what saves this color. So if you put this one down first and then put this on top, you're gonna get that green vibrancy that at least I crave, that at least I want. So putting these two together is what gets me that green that I want. But putting this one alone doesn't do it for me. It just doesn't do it. Overall, it's a beautiful palette. It is Pat McGrath's formula. It is beautiful. It does last on my eyes, especially that oiliness that just draws in everything. It looks so beautiful. I really do like this palette. I love that the shimmers are different from one another. This one has more of like purple, pink, and blue sparkle running through it. So it's a little bit different and it looks beautiful depending on which shade you put it on. It really stands out. I put it over this shade, as you guys saw in that look, and it made it really pop out, and a lot of purple came out of it. This one is beautiful as a lower lash line, which is what I'm wearing today. But if you put it all over your lid with one of these, it just looks really, really pretty. This color, star of the show. These two are beautiful, like everyday kind of shade. So overall, I'm happy with it. I personally did not pay the full price for this. I paid far less than what it was meant to be paid for, and for me, that makes me content. I'm happy. I didn't pay the full boat. I wouldn't have paid the full boat because I was already happy with this one. The difference between both of them really quick is that this one's giving you more mattes and more shimmers, and this is more of like your sheer toppers. With some of them are sheer toppers, and then some of them are bright, like that green one. You have that one right there, but then you're getting variety in here as well. I like that they put a darker plummy brown in here, and then you got a little bit of a warmth peach, because this is the one that's in Pat McGrath, but then you're getting a little bit more subtle brown in here. So this one just gives me a little bit more variety. Obviously there's more shades in this one, but it's giving me a little bit more variety as far as colors, as far as different looks, and what I'm looking for in a look. Like, these are all opaque. These, I have some that I can sheer out and make them look more like toppers, which is what I like. So take it for what it is. Both of them blend really nicely. Both of them last on my eyes. Both of them are gorgeous. Do you want to spend less money and get a little bit more variety, or do you love the Pat McGrath formula and you can use these and enjoy these? I think in the future, to be honest with you guys, I will be pulling other Pat McGrath shades in here, more necessarily for the mattes, not so much for the shimmery, glittery kind of shade. I think that those alone are beautiful. I just need a little bit more variety when it comes to my transition shades, more brown, more different tones in here. The only two I can really work with are these two. So I'm either getting a purple look or I'm getting like a peachy pink look. And I sometimes just want a brown. I just want a brown. I want a simple brown. So that's the only thing I see myself doing, is pulling in other shades for mattes to go along with these, just to give myself a little bit of variety. But overall, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it. You guys know I've always been a fan of Pat McGrath. I feel like she just works really well because I have very finicky eyelids. You guys, I constantly get creasing on my eyes now that I've gotten older, and my lines are getting more deep in my eyelids, and my oils just are so strong. You guys, things that are told that won't go through, oh, my eyelids will and as much as I prime and do whatever, it's just the nature of the game. So for me, spending a little bit more money on eyeshadows that I know will last for the night is worth it to me. But is it worth it to you? There's differences. This is why I always say I put it out there for you guys. I gave you a cheaper alternative. I do not have a coupon code for What's Up Beauty. They do send me PR. This was sent in PR, and this was beautiful as it was. This was very, very different for its time, and now we have a higher end version if you prefer that one. It's up to you guys. It's up to you guys. Just bear in mind, you're not getting her baked shimmer, like duochromies, and I'm happy about that. The last time she did not bring something like that was with the Decadence palette that is no longer available. It actually brings more of like these shades over here, more satiny shades, and I've used that one in quite a few looks when it came to pan those eyeshadows, so I already know that these are beautiful. But this one, the difference between both of them is that she's giving you more of the sparkle. The Decadence gave you more satin, these give you more sparkle, and that might be the palette I put together with this one to do other looks. So that's what I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I had a lot of fun doing 3 looks, 1 palette, something different, something where I can really showcase every single shadow in here. And I gave you 3 different eye looks, so that way you guys can see them all differently and give you my thoughts on them. So thank you guys so much for clicking, for seeing. I know I was late, so I tried to do something different. It was a lot of fun. I hope you guys appreciated it. And that's it. That's all that I got. All right, guys, I'm out.